No, you're good. So because together we are stronger. Individually we are stronger. I remember every single phone counts. Hello, my friends. Welcome to On Point with Rachel Turgerman. I'm so glad you can join us tonight. My friends, philanthropy, it is so important. The great news is that Catholic Hospice is here for all of us during the most difficult times of our lives. They provide invaluable medical, emotional, and spiritual support for those individuals that have been diagnosed with a very serious illness. Joining us tonight is somebody very special and somebody that I love very much, Miss Jessica Joseph. She is the manager of philanthropy and also the public relations manager for Catholic Hospice. Jessica, welcome. A big hug, a big virtual hug to you. How are you? Thank you so much for being on Point with Rachel Turgerman.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm so honored to be here with you. I'm happy that I'm finally here with you. I know it's been a long-awaited time, but I'm so
I've been after you for so long, but you finally made it. And I want to thank you. I know that you're very busy working at Catholic Hospice, but thank you for taking time out. I know that our viewers want to hear everything you have to say about Catholic Hospice. I want to congratulate you, Jessica. Your work is truly priceless. I see you everywhere, whether it's a chamber, a luncheon, a gala, always talking about the amazing services that Catholic Hospice offers to our community. And on that note, I do want to have this front and center conversation with you so that all of our viewers, and believe me, there are many, all of our viewers, I want them to know what are the vital services that Catholic Hospice provides to all our community, especially when they have been diagnosed with a very serious illness, and also their families, because later on you're going to let them know that you also help families with counseling, so on and so forth. But
Absolutely.
Before we begin, I want our viewers to get to know you better. How's that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell us where you were born. And also, by now, most of our viewers know that I want to know a little bit about you, some history, anything that happened in your childhood or when you were growing up that perhaps helped define your persona. Talk to us.
Thank you, Rachel. I was born in El Paso, Texas. I'm fifth generation Mexican descent, so I'm proud of my culture, being a Hispanic woman. And I consider myself a native here in South Florida. I came here when I was 5 years old with my stepfather, and my mom and stepfather met in Texas. So he was in the army, and we moved over here to South Florida. And ever since then, I've been here. I think without the upbringing of being humble and always being there for one another, I was taught and raised, humble. We grew up with humble beginnings, and we learned to support each other. That's number one key: communication, always being there for one another. And I can't thank my parents and my family for teaching me those, upbringings, and just being there for one another. I think is very important.
That's extremely important. So welcome to Florida. I'm so glad you've been here.
I'm a native. I'm here. I consider myself Cuban Mex.
Exactly.
I speak Cuban. I don't speak Mexican, but again, I love the culture, the diversity, and of course, proud being a Hispanic woman and here in South Florida.
That's our richness, right?
Absolutely.
So let's go back to your career, your life. At what point did you decide that you wanted to dedicate your career to helping others, but especially in dealing with death? Talk to us.
Rachel, I always share my story, and back then I didn't know what hospice was. I learned about Catholic Hospice many years ago when my grandfather was in our service. At that time, I was not working here at Catholic Hospice. I was at another nonprofit. And at that time, I remember asking my aunt, Tia, what is hospice? What's wrong with abuelo? Is he going to be okay? And she said to me, he's with Catholic Hospice. And I remember one night sitting in my grandmother's house, being there with all of our family, our loved ones. A doctor walks into the room, and I remember his long white coat, his silky silver hair. Dr. Villalba is the one that took care of my grandfather at that time. Years passed. I come to Catholic Hospice, and I found out that Dr. Villalba, shout out, is still with us. He took care of my grandfather And then my grandmother was also in our service. So I feel that it's a calling. I feel that giving back to the community, helping our patients and families, because I understand the mission. I understand what it feels like to be on the other side. I know how it feels. What better way than to advocate for our mission, for our families, our culture of what we do, and stop the stigma of hospice, in the Hispanic community or the culture. It's very difficult to accept death. So that's how I became a role model here at Catholic Hospice. I love the mission. As everyone knows, I am mission driven, and this is my goal, is to spread the word about our services.
It's beautiful. And you see how as the world turns, Jessica, just like the soap opera, as the world turns, that
Absolutely.
when Catholic Hospice came to your house, you had no idea, no inclination that eventually you were going to work for them.
Exactly.
It's what a coincidence, right? Or I don't think
It,
that's a coincidence. I think it was meant to be. It
it's
was
a
part of
calling.
your destiny.
It's a calling. I believe it. It was meant to be. It was a calling, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for working at Catholic Hospice. I've been here for 11 years. I love the people. We all support each other, and we're here for one another. Our community outreach are our families. We take care of your loved one as if they were our family, and that's what we try to instill with all of our clinical teams. We have to be there for one another, have that compassion, that mission driven to care for your loved one. It's not an easy task.
That's very important. So when you say the mission, for
Mhm.
those viewers that do not know what Catholic Hospice is, okay, just succinctly in a couple of sentences, tell us exactly what is the mission of Catholic Hospice, its purpose, and then we're going to ask you about how did you create the culture of philanthropy. But first, talk to us about the mission, because I want all our viewers to really take notes, and I want them to, God forbid, but we talked about death off the air, you and I
Mhm.
earlier, and we realized that death is inescapable.
Mhm.
Okay, nobody's here forever. We know that. So what a blessing that we have Catholic Hospice right here in South Florida. Talk to us about the mission. Go ahead.
Our mission is to provide comfort, preserve dignity of your loved one. We're here to provide that compassion care. We care for your loved one. That spiritual aspect as well is to provide the support from our chaplains, our priests. We serve all faiths. And that's something that we are very proud of. We serve the Jewish faith, non denominational, and if anyone, all faiths, we are proud to serve. So, our mission is to care for you, of course. We respect your loved ones, whatever wishes that they have. That's what we do. We listen and we care for your loved ones.
That is so beautiful. And recently my brother died. I told you about that, and it just happened so fast, Jessica. And
Hmm.
had it not happened so fast, for sure I would have called you for the L'Chaim hospice that you have, which is the Jewish part as
Yeah,
well, because you need that comforting, not only for the person that's very ill, your loved one, but also for the family.
of
You know,
course.
and I want to thank you at the forefront with your leader, Diane Backoff. A big shout out to her as your executive director, because your bereavement hotline, and I want to make sure that all our viewers know that Catholic Hospice has a bereavement hotline, my friends. So if
Yeah.
you are in the midst of having someone that is not well, first of all, you need to call Catholic Hospice if you know that there is it 6 months or less, Jessica, that they have
Yes. It's a six. It's a
diagnosed.
terminal diagnosis of 6 months
Six
or
months or
less.
less. I strongly suggest viewers that we love you so much, to contact Catholic Hospice, because the emotional support that you and the family are going to be getting is just unbelievable. It's just superlative to anything I've ever seen. And when my brother died, I spoke to you, and you told me, listen, you have to call our bereavement hotline, and I immediately called. And boy, viewers, they really, really, really helped me. So on that note, let's talk a little bit about the culture. You are creating an amazing culture of philanthropy at Catholic Hospice. How are you doing it? Talk to us.
Thank you. Again, I stress to everyone, internal and external, we are all ambassadors of Catholic Hospice. If we communicate internal and external the same message, it's creating the culture of philanthropy. We are all seeking that extra support from within our families, from the community, from anyone. It could be from someone who has been through our service. As you mentioned, you just lost your brother and you reached out to bereavement, our bereavement hotline. We have our expert team of bereavement professionals on standby to take that phone call, to be there for you, to listen. It's our goal to provide that culture within and external. It's our mission. We have to believe in ourselves in order for our external community to also believe in us as well. I believe that if you are mission driven, people will give genuinely. If you provide that compassionate care, families will extend a hand. They will
Absolutely.
ask you, how can I help you? What can I do? I want to thank you for your service. That's being a culture of philanthropy, the aspect of just a family member asking because they were here serving your loved one and then they want to give back in one way or another. That just says that our team of professionals are doing their job. They are doing it because they want to, and they're there for your loved one.
And when you're serving, people that have been diagnosed with a terminal illness, their days are counted. All of our days are counted if you want to look at it that way. But if you know that you have a terminal illness, may God bless us all.
Yes.
If we know this, and then comes in Catholic Hospice, with your nurses, with your counselors, bereavement counselors, with your doctors,
Hmm.
and just the love that you exude as staff, and the compassion and
Hmm.
the empathy, the
That's
empathy
right.
that you're giving to the beloved one that's not well, and the family members, that is priceless. There's no money in the world that can pay for that. Talking about money, talk to us. If somebody right now is watching and they want to call Catholic Hospice tomorrow and they want to make sure that that loved one is being taken care of, do you guys take Medicare, private insurances? How does that work?
Yes, anyone can call the number on the screen, the 800 number, go to our website. We have an admissions team that can explain all the services that we have. We have someone that can explain all of the insurances. We do accept the Medicaid. We do accept health plans. And we even have someone to help that individual with any questions when it comes to the insurance. We have charity care as well. We see patients that do not have access to health care. And that's something that we deal with a lot. And as a nonprofit and Catholic organization, of course, we serve everyone. We just cannot say no to that patient. We're extending a service to the community. And that's where philanthropy comes in. Your dollar helps provide assistance with those who cannot afford it, cannot afford hospice.
And it's possible. I was just talking to my fiance, Dr. Silver, the other day, and I was saying to him, inflation is really getting to us. You
Yes.
go to the supermarket, you go anywhere, everything has doubled or tripled.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I encourage all of viewers today, and I want to ask production to put up the November 17th Give Miami Day here in Florida. We encourage all our viewers, my friends. No contribution is too small. Give
Thank you.
freely, give freely to Catholic Hospice on November 17th. The blessings from above will come pouring down to you. Today you might be giving for somebody that you don't know, but tomorrow somebody else might be giving for somebody in your family or friends, because that's the way things
Exactly.
went. All of us are in this web of unknowing, uncertainty. And so
Hmm.
Catholic Hospice, and there's Give Miami Day, my friends, up on the screen. Don't forget
Yes.
November 17th, when
Save the date. Hmm.
Oh, Alan, see if you can put up the other one where it gives the. Oh, that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Thank you, production.
Yes.
So
Yes.
November 17, give to, and there's the website. That's where you go to. That's the site that you go to. Give to Catholic Houses, my friends. Open up those purses, open up those pocketbooks, open up those wallets, gentlemen. Give freely, because when death hits somebody, whether it's a loved one at your house or a family member or a friend or any human being, because let's face it, we're all God's children, we're all brothers and sisters. Give freely. I know that I will be giving to your organization. And I
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you.
say publicly. And so I know that a lot of our viewers will also do so. Let's talk a little bit about your services. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. Okay, we know that the mission is to truly help people that have been diagnosed with a terminal illness and have 6 months or less to live. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Now, let's get into your services so that our viewers can truly understand how great Catholic Hospice is and all the other L'Haim Hospice and everything else that you deal with. Talk to us about the services.
I would be happy to. You know, it's interesting. A lot of our viewers do not know that we have an array of services aside from what you just mentioned. And these services, such as Pet Peace of Mind, which is a volunteer based program to assist your pet needs. Your furry friends are part of our family as well. What does that mean? Bathing, feeding, walking, whatever the need is, it's part of our program. It's free. Our We Honor Veterans program is to honor the veteran for your service. We have specialized team that have, been a veteran themselves that can do a pin the ceremony, recognize the veteran and honor them. We
Absolutely.
admire.
They risk their lives
Exactly.
to protect us. The least we can do is to honor our veterans.
Absolutely. We give that recognition back. And then there's also Camp Aaron. We have our kids who suffer too. It's a bereavement camp for children for ages 6 to 17. They also need grief support. We have 2 camps a year, one in October and one in March. Everything is on our website. You can head on over to the website to look up all of these services. Another service
So
that we...
before you go on to the next one, let's talk a little bit about Camp Aaron.
Yes.
And I want to direct myself to our viewers. Viewers, I'm sure you have children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren. And if you don't have children, you know somebody that does have children. Where am I getting at, my friends? We're all interrelated. As Dr. says, what affects you, Jessica, me, and the whole world affects all of us because we're all human beings. And Camp Aaron is amazing. And what you just said, Jessica, to have like a bereavement counseling group session for a weekend for free,
free.
6 to 17.
Yes.
That is beautiful because even adults cannot deal with the separation of physicality. I know that we're spiritual. But when somebody dies, we can't see that person anymore. Once we bury them, we cannot see them anymore. We can see them in our minds, but we cannot call them, talk to them anymore. And for kids to understand this separation, this physical separation is pretty deep. And I want to thank you, Jessica. And of course, Diane Backoff, your executive director and your entire leadership for creating Camp Aaron for our viewers, because this is important. We want our kids to grow up to be emotionally balanced. They need to learn that death is a reality.
It is.
It's real. But we also need to be emotionally balanced. And that's where the altruism, the superlative work of Catholic Hospice comes in. And I want to thank you for that, Jessica.
Absolutely. It's actually, it's our team. We got to thank our team, our professionals. They're the ones in the forefront. I'm here advocating. I'm here the face of Catholic Hospice. But I always say to our clinical teams, you are our hospice angels. You're the ones out there providing the care. I want to go back to Camp Aaron. You'd be surprised how the programs provided for these children, they express themselves and who they've lost. There's a candlelight vigil. They share photos. They have these creative activities, pet therapy as well as part of the process. All these things that we do for camp and for anyone else is free. This is where community support comes in. And the other program I do want to touch on is Wishes Granted. So just think of your loved one wanting to have that last wish. It could be anything. It could be going to the beach. It could be having a birthday, a celebration, a milestone, a wedding anniversary. We have had those. And let me tell you, I get teary-eyed when I hear these stories from our patients and families. I mean, those are the programs that we are here to assist you and your loved one with. We want to provide that lasting memory to our families.
And as I hear you speak, my brother died over a year ago, but it seems like yesterday. And as I hear you speak, the last wish, to be able to plan it with the
Hmm.
individual that knows that they're going to leave this earth to join God in heaven, but to plan something with your amazing staff, with great hearts, with compassion, with empathy, with
Yeah.
love, again, that's
Yeah.
priceless. And I'm sure that our viewers, I mean, viewers, you're sitting in your offices or you're sitting in your homes and listening to Jessica Joseph, who's the manager of philanthropy, who's the public relations guru for Catholic Hospice. And we're talking to you all from our hearts.
Hmm.
Get this information down, write down Catholic Hospice. God forbid, if any of your loved ones, is diagnosed with a terminal illness. And what's sad is that it doesn't matter who it could be. It could be a young person too. It could be an older person too. It could be anybody. Correct,
Exactly.
Jessica? Want to elaborate
Mhm.
on that?
Yes, it could be anyone with a terminal illness. Again, it's just sad to hear the stories that we help. I mean, it's something that we accept. We cannot say no to someone for whatever reason. I mean, they're dying. We're here to help you. That's what our clinical teams are trained for. That's what they're here to do, is to help your loved one with that comfort, the preserving their dignity. It's important, that last wish, whatever that is. All these services are free to you and your family. Take advantage of them. That's what we're here for.
It's beautiful, and I want you to share some testimonials. And you and I had talked about this a long time ago. I think I remember you telling me that there was a person that had a quinceañera, a 15-year-old birthday party, and she didn't want to miss it, and you actually brought the party to them.
Yes, we've had quinceañera parties. I think it was actually a grandmother. We brought the 15s to her. That was such a beautiful moment in time. We've also had a son who hadn't seen his father, who lived out of Florida. The son lived out of state, and we were taking care of his loved one, the father. And we paid for the ticket for the son to travel to see his father one last time. We had another patient who we do have currently, whose last wish is, actually, he's a teenager and he wants to go to Walt Disney World one last time. Are we going to make that wish happen? Absolutely. That is our goal, is to provide that memory for your loved one. It's something for the family to keep. That's what we do. That's what we're here for.
You bring tears of joy in my heart and in my eyes. That's amazing. God bless you for that. And let's talk about music therapy. I know that Catholic Hospice also offers music therapy, and that's beautiful. And many times people can get dementia. And I want to give a shout out to United Home Care, because I know they're going to be doing on November 18th a big conference on dementia. But in your case, Catholic Hospice, are you going to be you have music therapy,
That's
because
right.
soothe the soul and the mind, and it actually helps you, right? Because let's suppose somebody
Absolutely.
loved the song when they were maybe boyfriend and girlfriend with their husband, right? They've been married for 60 years, and now they're playing a song that they danced to at their wedding. That might help their memory too. I mean, I understand that that they're not well and everything, but that's beautiful to have that recollection. It's almost like that book, that Notebook movie. Remember the Notebook movie?
Yes.
In and out, in and out. What do you think, Jessica? Talk to me.
Music therapy is part of the program as well. It's something that we offer. Our music therapists have the most beautifulest. I mean, they sing like angels. I tell you, the testimonial video is on the website. You can go onto our page and just listen to the music therapist sing to the patients. I mean, it's a beautiful feeling, and yes, it does help soothe and make them feel more comfortable. Again, this is something that is part of our service. These are things that anyone who's in our service can take advantage of. Yes, music therapy. I I commend our music therapist as well for being there, because it's not easy. It's not an easy task for anyone who's taking care of our patients and families.
It's not easy, but the blessing here, okay, comes from above for your entire staff, including yourself, because you are providing joy where there isn't no joy. There's no joy when somebody that you love is dying, whether it's a loved one, a family member, or friend, and you just provide that light, that
That ease.
tiny light. What did you say?
That ease, that
That
just
ease.
of
Exactly.
that feeling of just stress free. But that's what we do. Yes.
Exactly. I also want you to give your email out now because we're also on 12 podcasts. Thank you, production, for reminding me. We're in a bunch of Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Go ahead and say your website as well.
Absolutely. Our website's www.catholichospice.org. And the email address is give to hospice at catholichospice.org.
Fantastic. I also want to commend you a billion times, Jessica, because you are a 2022 recipient of the Hispanic Women of Distinction honoree. It's a long name there, Hispanic Women of Distinction honoree. And it's not easy. Every year, Elaine Maselli Vasquez gets some judges and she puts out this huge, huge luncheon. It's an honorees luncheon. We're
Mm-hmm.
open 12, the cream of the cream. Okay. Creme la creme. 12 Hispanics in the tri-counties get to be selected by judges, and you are one of the 12. So I want to congratulate you, Hispanic Women of Distinction honoree. How does it feel to be a recipient of such a prestigious award? Talk to us.
Rachel, I want to congratulate you too, because you're a past honoree. I just have to say, I'm honored. I'm grateful. I still can't believe it till this day to be representing Catholic Hospice, our Hispanic culture. I have to thank everyone who supported me along the way. I didn't do this by myself. I have to thank Catholic Hospice for allowing me to be the voice for our patients and families. I have to thank my teams, the leadership team, Diane Backoff, everyone who's been there supporting me. Of course, the community support, outreach. Shout out to Elaine Vasquez. Thank you. And to the judges. Of course, I think to me, just being there and giving back to the community is something that I love to do. I'm very passionate, and that's my goal, is to help others, especially those who have a terminal illness. So I'm grateful for everything that I have been recognized for. I have to thank, again, everyone, my family, who's very supportive of everything that I've done. I think without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now today. So thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. Well, you deserve it. You certainly work hard 24/7. I had said earlier at the show, during the interview, that you are everywhere talking about hospice. You breathe it, you live it, you believe it, you feel it. You have so much compassion in you, and you are a reflection of what's there at Catholic Hospice. And of course, it starts with the leadership. So a big shout out again to Dan Backoff. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. I want to thank you so much, Jessica, for joining us, for sharing with us the vital services that Catholic Hospice offers to patients that have been terminated as far as life illnesses. And yes, their lives are coming to an end. Like all of our lives will come to an end, but at least there's a beam of happiness. Does that make sense? A beam of happiness where there is no happiness. You create that little shell, if you will, a little cocoon of happiness. And I want to thank you so much, Jessica, and your entire team for giving us that beam of happiness when it seems so dark in our lives. So we love you. We thank you. We appreciate you. Is there a last minute message that you would like to leave all our viewers with tonight?
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for your time, for your support. Please give on November 17th. Early giving is November 14th. Support Catholic Hospice. I am here for you, and I thank you so much for your time, your talent, and your treasure.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Jessica. You are our treasure. So, viewers, you heard Jessica Joseph, manager of philanthropy with Catholic Hospice. Please share this video, share this interview with your family and friends. You never know when you're going to need it. Look them up, Catholic Hospice. Don't forget November 17th. Give freely. Today for someone that you don't know. Tomorrow might be somebody in your family or a friend. So God bless you all. Remember that keeping informed and staying connected allows all of us to make the right decisions. God bless you. Stay healthy and safe. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
No, you're good.